Oh, we're live.
We are.
Buenos dias, everybody. Happy Labor Day weekend to everybody. And I want to say anybody who is in the path of Category 5 Dorian, our thoughts are with you. Hope your families are safe. And that we get through the hurricane that's happening down in the southern east part of the U.S. and the Bahamas. Prayers are with you for sure. And thanks to all the responders, the electrical workers, and all those guys that are rushing towards the storm instead of away to make sure people are safe and all that good stuff. So today here in New Jersey, it too is raining. No hurricane, but a perfect day to tackle a recipe that takes most of the day. We are doing authentic Mexican mole poblano. It's a great recipe. It's a long recipe. There's 100 different kinds of mole. Today we're just making one kind. And I'm really super excited. I've wanted to make this for a long time. So I've gathered the ingredients and I did a dry run. I made a vegan version for a friend of mine, Mare, who works in the produce department at the Fresh Market local. And she is a vegan, vegetarian. So I changed up just two things. And that was, instead of chicken stock, I used mushroom stock. And instead of luscious pork lard, I used grapeseed oil. Those are the only two differences. So I'm sure it is tasting pretty close to what we're going to make today. So we're going to get right to it. And this is an episode of Playing in the Kitchen with Chef Eric. I'm a grateful chef, and that's what we're doing today. Ooh, a lot of loud noise. Anyway, so yeah, Playing in the Kitchen. That's exactly what I'm doing. This recipe will be on both the Facebook group, The Grateful Chef with Eric Eisenbud, and we're going to put it on our website, eatingwithcheferic.com. So don't feel like you need to write anything down. In fact, what I did, and I don't normally do this, I actually printed out this recipe because it is 4 pages long, and I just want to be able to keep track without having to look at my phone. So let's get right to mole poblano. So again, 100 different kinds of mole, but there are certain elements of a mole that we are going to put together today, and then they're all going to come together in a pot and in a beautiful way. Yes, Lynn?
Sorry, but could you actually just start even earlier than that? Like, what is mole?
Mole is an authentic Mexican dish. It is a lot. Every family, I would say, maybe not every, because I haven't met every family, but a lot of families have their family recipes. You know that family recipe that you guys have that may be handed down from generation to generation? That's what mole is. It's all day in the kitchen, several people working on it. And again, it's a very rich and savory dish, and it is used. So like later tonight, we're going to make enchiladas, mole poblano over the top. You know, there's chicken mole, where you cook the chicken in the mole or the shrimp in the mole. It's a very potent, strong sauce. Not necessarily spicy. You can make it spicier. It has a little bit of kick to it. It's got dried chilies. It's got nuts. It's got spices. It's got chocolate. That is one of the key ingredients. Mexicans are known for their fantastic chocolate. In fact, that's probably where it was invented. But don't quote me on that. So there's basic components that you're putting together. You're making a vegetable base. So you're putting together some vegetables, roasting them, and they're going into a blender with some chicken stock. You're making the chilies. So I'm going to put my water on because I want to reconstitute the chilies. So we're going to roast and then reconstitute the chilies. They're going to go into a blender with some chicken stock to make a paste. We are dry roasting the nuts. Yeah, so we'll go over the ingredients. So we're going to dry roast the nuts in a dry pan till they get a little brown and toasty. It brings out the essential oils of these nuts. And here I've got pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds. I've got peanuts, unsalted. I've got roasted almonds, and I've got pecans, and here in the middle is raisins. So a couple of little elements to bring the sweetness level up, not even so much to bring the sweetness up as to counteract the bitterness. The mole is a relatively bitter taste, but it has certain components like the raisins that are going to sweeten it up. The chocolate is a dark chocolate. It's 70, this one happens to be 70%, very little bit of sugar. What I did in the vegan version, because I wanted to just counteract the bitter just a bit, I took some dates, I soaked them in hot water, and then I mashed them with my immersion blender to make a paste, and that basically helped balance the bitter. Didn't necessarily make it sweet. But, in my opinion, my chef opinion, mole is not supposed to be a super sweet sauce.
Do me a favor?
Yes.
And swap out your fat on the other side.
Woo!
Thank you. And right now we've got Sean Hintz with us.
Hey, Sean.
That's awesome. And Keith Rocher, he's really happy to see we're out here.
Nice.
And we have Joe Giffria.
Hey, Joe.
And
Southern Coastal Cooking, Joe.
Dave Lehman.
Awesome, David. So you want to do a quick overview of the spices again and,
Yep.
and the ingredients. All right, so dry ingredients. So we have two types of dried chili. So this is a chili pasilla. So it's a pasilla pepper. They're dried, very leathery. Again, I have this great Mexican market. They have a dozen different kinds of dried chilies. So we've got the pasilla, and we have the ancho chili pods, you know, and you're saying, okay, so this is mole poblano. Where's the poblano peppers? Ancho chilies are dried poblano peppers. So in your market, you get those really nice green kind of bell-shaped pepper. That is a poblano, and this is it in its dry form. So you can hear the seeds inside. Sounds like a rattlesnake. Those are all going to come out. So we've got our peppers. We've already talked about the nuts, the pumpkin seeds, the peanuts, the almonds, the pecans. We've got some raisins here. And then over to the spices, we have several spices. So we have black peppercorns. We have a stick of cinnamon. We have sesame seeds. We have cumin seed, fennel seed, and chili flakes. Those are all going to get toasted. I'm just going to let my water come to a boil. And we're going to try and do several things. We also have a plantain. I'm going to cook a little bit of plantain in lard, and that also goes in, as are the tortillas. We have 4 corn tortillas. They also get cooked in lard real quick, and they tear them up. We put them in the sauce. So this will all make a lot of sense once we start going. Yes?
Are the tortillas in there for a thickener?
I believe that they would be in here for a thickener and a little bit of a toasty corn flavor.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's so many levels of flavor in this dish.
And did you talk about the chocolate?
Oh, the chocolate. I almost forgot.
I didn't.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn. So this is Mexican chocolate, and it is pure. It's 70%. It has very little sugar in it. And I can get this. I actually found this at an Acme market. These I bought at the Mexican market. But my local Acme had it, which was a little bit of a shock to me. And this is how it comes. Comes in discs. This is a very good brand. So I would use this. And I think we need about 3 ounces. So they stone grind the cacao beans into perfectly unrefined, minimally processed chocolate with bold flavor and texture. This stuff's available with chilies and almonds and guajillo peppers and, I mean, all sorts of different flavors. Cinnamon. So I've got the puro, which I wanted for this dish. So that's it. That's Taza chocolate.
I also saw Tim Schaefer out there.
Beautiful. Hey, Chef Tim. All right, so pardon me as I refer to my recipe, because it's a long one. And also, if I pause to take a photograph or two, I'm going to do that along the way, because this is a playing in the kitchen with Chef Eric, and it's a little less structured than a regular Facebook Live. Okay, so I've got the water going, because I need to Well, I'm gonna use that once I reconstitute these peppers. So let's go. I'm gonna go right by the recipe because this is what you will do if you choose to make this. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do is I made a stock. All right. I made chicken stock. You can use boxed or a good jarred chicken stock if you want, but yeah, it was easy. I made with one chicken with some vegetables, some peppercorns, some bay leaves, and some the ancho chilies. Made a nice, dark, rich stock. And I let it refrigerate, and then I skimmed off the fat. But you can see, you can see this chicken stock. It's a very dark and rich chicken stock. So, nice. Are we still live, honey?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful.
Just a picture of the kitchen counter.
Thank you. So, excellent. All right, so let's move it along. We've got the chicken stock. I'll be using that several times. So now we're going to do the spices. Okay? So whenever you want to toast spices, you want to do it in a dry pan. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I am going to put in all these spices. And it's, of course, there's sesame seeds in here. That's counting as a spice, when we all know that it is a nut or a seed. So what I want to do is over medium heat, I'm going to just toast these dry until they toast up a little bit. We're going to try to keep our eye on it.
We are going to stop for a second
Okay.
and restart because you are actually. Can I on your app? Can I just switch over to Chef 5?
Why?
Because you're on Chef 24.
Oh. Okay. So are we not live?
We're live.
Okay.
So I'm just going to switch the app. You go over there and give it a
Okay.
try.
All right. So you want to take a break and come right back?
Yeah, let's just see what I can do.
Okay.
I might be able to do this without you losing anything. Just keep going.
All right. Anyway. So first thing that we're going to do, we're toasting our spices. We're going to put them in our spice grinder. While that's going, I want to bring you, well, Lynn's busy, so I was going to show you the vegetables. We've got that going. In fact, I have to show you these vegetables. So I'm going to take the camera. You got it? Beautiful. All right, so Ninja Foodie Grill. Again, we've talked about this. I was on their infomercial, and I have one, and I have found its place in my kitchen. So I use it for a lot of different things. Reheating stuff. I actually made a meatloaf in it just to play around with it. Came out great. And so I figured I have the tool. Let me use it for this recipe. So I talked about the vegetable paste. So one of the things you have to do is you have to roast the vegetables. Ninja Foodie Grill is a roast feature. So I've got tomatoes, I've got garlic, and I've got onions. I put it in here on the roast feature for 20 minutes, and boom, there you go. Didn't heat up my whole kitchen. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm also going to use the Ninja Foodie Grill to toast my peppers. So I've got my vegetables in here. I'm just going to put it in this pan, just to let them sit there while we're doing other things. Again, I'm going to use this same pan, and you can do this in your oven. You know, obviously, if you don't have a Ninja Foodie Grill, you can put it on a baking sheet in your oven and roast the vegetables for 20 minutes at 325, 350. All right, there we go. So we have our vegetable. I'm going to give this a quick wipe, and I'm going to put in our peppers. Again, you want them to dry toast. All right. Come over here, honey.
Yes.
I'm going to toss around our spices. You can see they're getting nice and brown, especially the sesame seeds. You can hear them popping.
Ooh, that's a great picture.
Beautiful. Now you can smell the essential oils coming out of these. Okay, I'm going to turn that off.
So while you're doing this, can you get a couple pictures? So if you can get the spices as well as your roasted vegetables.
Okay, so I got a picture of the vegetables.
Okay.
So now the next step is we're taking our dried peppers, dried chilies. Don't have a Ninja Foodie grill, put them on a baking sheet, toast them in an oven for 15 or 20 minutes, 350, you're fine. But again, I have the tool, I'm using the tool. So
Yeah,
that's what we're going to do.
hard to see them with the lighting, but it's you just toss them in there.
Yep.
So you don't have to really worry about them all being on a single layer.
Right, exactly. And I'm going to take a couple of pictures of it, just because.
Because you can.
That's what I do. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this on roast.
I'll come a little closer.
Yeah, why don't you go take a look at that, honey? While I get the proper temperature I need.
Oops, I forgot my camera. I need my screen. Sorry, guys.
350 degrees.
It's raining.
350 degrees. So here it's got a roast feature. I'm hitting roast, bringing it down to 350. And I'm going to go for about 8 minutes. We'll start 6 minutes. And I can let it go. That's all fine and good. All right. Now, we've got the water boiling away here. I want to turn it down. We're going to do our toasted spices. And we're putting them into the spice grinder. I'm going to break up this piece of cinnamon. Make it easier on the grinder. All right. And these spices are just going to go in here. Just put it in this dish so it's easier to put in. And they're kind of warm still, so I want to let them just sit before I buzz them around, because I don't want really to make a paste, because remember all those oils will make it kind of pasty. Actually, I'm going to keep this because I'll put the thing in there. So I just want to, let me give it a shake, a quick little spin, just to cool them down a little bit. All right, now we're going to spin away. Oh, it smells great. The hint of sesame I just got, killer. All right, so I have I don't know if you guys use one of these for a coffee grinder. I have a separate one just for spices. In fact, I do Lynn's chai tea latte spices in here. All right, so we're going to have to get those cinnamon sticks ground. So here you've got our paste. Actually, not even a paste. It is. And let me ask you if you're going to do what I did, unplug it so there's no accidents.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, you can see so the
It
oil.
smells so good.
It is strong. All right, so that's what we've got with our spices. I'm going to try and put these cinnamon sticks back in. Just grind them separately. Plug it in. Plug it in, plug it in. All right, good enough. It's okay if it's got a couple of bigger pieces in there.
Will it dissolve at all when it's cooking?
No, not cinnamon, but it's okay. It's all right to have a couple of pieces in there.
All right.
Won't kill you. All right, so we are done with the spice grinder, so this is going away. There. And here we've got our beautiful spice mix. Can I show it to you again? All right, beautiful. That's ready. We're going to put it aside. Okay, next. You can hear my Ninja Foodie grill buzzing away back there. All right, so we got the spices taken care of. Get my pen to keep organized. All right, the vegetable base. So what I did was I roughly chopped them. I roasted them in the Ninja Foodie grill. I'm going to add them to the blender.
That'll sound good.
No one said making mole is a quiet activity. Again, onion, tomato, garlic. This is going into my blender. This is going to be the first of many items to go into the blender. And we're making our vegetable base. Okay, so it's going into the blender with a cup and a half of chicken stock.
Yep.
And we're
Sorry, I just moved that.
going to blend it until smooth. So I've got, making my life easy, 8-ounce ladle. And a cup and a half. Alright. Put it on the top. I'll start it nice and low. See, that's not loud, honey. For Vitamix. You want to get a nice smooth paste. Not even a paste, it's like a smooth liquid. Okay. Beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain it right into the pot. This is the base of our mole. Excited.
Oh, it smells
Really good. Oh. So roasting the vegetables gives you another level of flavor. It's a beautiful thing. So you want to come over here, babe?
Yep.
Into my musa. Ooh, perfect timing. Let's check our peppers. Woo! Oh yeah, nice and toasted. That is a beautiful thing.
It's hard to see them.
6 minutes.
Can you look-
Oh.
Well, you have to remove the seeds anyway, right?
Yep.
So just knock them
Put
around
here.
and they'll all fall out.
You can see they're
Goofier.
smoking a little bit. They smell really, really intense. So let's do that since we got that going on. I'm going to put them out of here into this bowl. And this is what we're going to reconstitute these in. Now that they've got a nice toasty flavor. Oh, they almost smell like chocolate. Don't they?
They smell really good.
Alright, so I had my boiling water. And my towel.
Where are we going?
Go right here. Stay right there. Alright. Got those. I'm going to knock them down a little bit. I'm going to put on a little bit more water because we need it.
So all you did was stuck them into the hot water. So that's that. And they're steaming.
That's good. I'll put a little more hot water on, a little extra because it boiled away. And I'm just going to use my spoon. And I want to push them down. See, there's big air pockets in here now. So if I crush them down.
Now it's got all poofy. Does it matter that you're squishing them?
No. Because what we're going to do is we're going to cut them open once they reconstitute. And we are going to scrape the seeds out. So these will soften up very quickly. Mmm. And you can see this flavorful liquid. This brown liquid from soaking them, we're going to use that in our mole, of course.
Does it matter if there's seeds in it or do you strain it?
No, I'm going to strain it out. Beautiful. All right. So, vegetable base. I'm going to strain because this is tomato seeds in it. So that's going to be the base of our entire mole, is the vegetable. So I'm just going to strain those tomato seeds out.
Any tips for straining?
No. Throw it in the strainer and let it drip through. If you have any problems,
Such a good tip.
just use a spatula or a spoon to force the liquid through. So straining out these seeds will also kind of get rid of some bitterness, because those seeds can be bitter. Same thing with the pepper seeds. So we don't just throw it all in. Beautiful. All right. That's it. Throwing the seeds away. Beautiful. I'm going to go rinse out my blender. I'm going to do this several times. Actually, you know what? Not even. We don't want to keep all the flavor. So we're not rinsing out. All right, let's see what the next step is. So we've got the peppers soaking. We've got the vegetable base made. So the nuts. Here's an interesting thing. We're going to take our nuts and we are going to toast them in a pan.
Are you coming back over here?
With lard. Yep.
I'm losing my tools. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm going to go back and do the nuts at the stove.
All right.
All right. Move this over. Doesn't need to be over there. All right. So our nuts and our raisins. Here we go.
Coming back.
Put my pan on. Now nuts will burn very quickly if you're not careful. So we are going to cook the nuts over medium heat for a few minutes in lard. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And a little bit of lard goes a long way, guys. So I'm going to do a tablespoon. Now remember, the nuts all have their own oil, so it's all going to come out. And quickly it melts. All right. Beautiful. Our hot water is boiling. I'm going to just add that to the peppers. Not too much, because I don't want to dilute that beautiful liquid. Oh yeah, they're softening. They're really, really beautiful. Give them a quick stir. Those will be done very soon. All right. We've got a little lard. You hear the ring?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to just put the nuts in. Again, we don't want to fry them. We just want to cook them a little bit. We're going to keep our eye on them. And then we're going to pull them out. And I'm going to put them right back in here. Nice. And how could this be bad? You know, you got 4 different kinds of nuts. You got raisins, you got chocolate, you got peppers, you name it.
Do one more
It's a
time.
beautiful thing. So I'm starting to hear them sizzle. And this is something you can't really rush through, guys. You just got to take your time. Beautiful rainy day here in New Jersey. Perfect. And I am using this metal spoon in my Meeson nonstick pan. I'm being extremely careful not to scratch the bottom of the pan.
Could you use a regular rubber spatula?
Sure.
Are you just trying to limit the amount of dishes I have?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so again, what we're doing, toasting. We're pulling the essential oils out of the nuts. We're elevating their flavor a little bit. It'll be beautiful. Popping and sizzling and with a nice quick toast. So we're going to cook two other things in the lard. We're going to cook the plantains. We're also going to cook the tortillas. That comes towards the end. So we're going to do that in a little bit. Popping. And cook with your nose, folks. Ah.
So if I smell it burning, it's bad.
Yes, exactly. Beautiful. So also softening up the nuts a little bit, just to, because we are going to blend them. Now, raisins, since they have sugar in them, aren't going to take as long. So, right towards the end, as we're coming up, those pepitas, pumpkin seeds, are starting to pop and hiss a little bit. So, we are going to add the raisins very quickly. Let them soften a bit. There we go. Looks fantastic. Go to the recipe. All right, once they're brown, put them in the blender, along with a cup of chicken stock. Blend it up. So you can see those peanuts have gotten a little brown. All right. Shutting that off. And we're going to go with the spatula. See if I can get them in here. I'm over at the blender now. Still sizzling. All right. Fantastic.
Are you blending now?
Yep. Cup of chicken stock. Put it on low. Nice and fine. All right. This now will go in with our veggie base. Yes, Lynn?
We got Jamie Parisi. He said hi all. And Delanio Taylor. Lunchtime.
Lunchtime, well, more like dinner time with this recipe. You want to come back to the stove, honey, and see we've got our vegetable base. Yes.
That's what you're a moment ago.
Yep. Now I'm adding our chili. Our nuts. These are the nut paste that we just made. That goes in with the vegetable base.
That's really thick.
Mm-hmm. Made like peanut butter. But now it's like 4 different kinds of toasted pecans. We've got pumpkin seeds. We've got peanuts. We've got, what else do we have in here? Almonds. All have been toasted. It looks like a lot in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it out with a little chicken stock so I can get more of it.
So it won't dilute it too much?
Nope, this is gonna you know, like cook for a couple hours, so.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because if I were following that recipe, I'd be afraid to go put more chicken stock in there.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, this is going to simmer for hours, so I'm not worried about it. You can simmer it down to as low as you want.
Huh.
All right. So here we've got our beautiful vegetable base, our nut paste. I'm going to add our spices. And now we're going to make our we're going to make our pepper paste now. All right, so let's come back to the cutting board. Well, before I do that, I want to put my plantain into some lard. I'm going to cook this a little bit. Now, plantain, similar to a banana, except it's much more starchy, and it is available in ripe and unripe and every level in between. So we're using an unripened, a green plantain, as opposed to a more ripe yellow one. Skin's thicker, sticks because of the starchiness.
Jamie asked, did you roast the bones for the stock? Very dark in color.
No, the darkness comes from 2 ancho chilies in the stock. Because I made the stock specifically for this recipe.
Will you use all the stock, or
I don't think so.
would we be able to use? So since it's got the ancho chilies in it, would you be able to use it for other things?
Sure, anything that I wouldn't mind having a little spice to.
Okay.
All right, guys, so I'm going back to the pan that we did the nuts in. I'm going to add a little bit of lard, and we're going to cook these plantains.
We're moving in the kitchen today.
We are moving around. So I basically took the plantain, cut it in half, then cut it into chunks. And we're going to let those kind of get a nice little toast on them. They'll soften a little bit. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to cook our tortillas in lard as well. Let's get over to do the chili paste. Okay. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with these chilies. So you can see they've softened.
Oh. Wow.
So let me get a pair of tongs.
I can't believe they just fell off like that.
Yeah. They've softened quite a bit.
I'm going to zoom in. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to use paper towels here because there's going to be a lot of pepper juice flowing. All right, so what I'm going to do with these peppers is I'm going to take the seeds out because they're not really good to eat. So I'm simply going to cut the side. They're very soft. I'm going to let the water pour out of them. Kind of open it up, pull the stem, comes right out.
Do you need the paper towel?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of blowing.
Okay. I do need it. So I'm basically going to just scrape as many of the seeds out as I can. Being really gentle because the peppers are super soft now and I don't want to lose too much. But there you go. It's going in the blender.
I'll zoom it in.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking for with our peppers. Cut the side. Open it up. Take out the stem. Plantains.
Was that memory or cooking by smell?
Cooking by sound. Okay, so can you get this? Can you zoom in on this?
Yep.
All right, so here you can see our pepper, the flesh, the seeds. So I had a lot of seeds. I'm just going to brush those seeds out. As many as I can. You don't have to get every single one of them. Once it's in that form, it goes right into the blender. Do that again. Open it up. Take out the seeds. Remove the stem. Into the blender. Suppose you could dry out those seeds if you wanted to and use them.
Would it have been from Jamie? Would it have been easier to take the seeds out prior to soaking?
You could do that if you wanted to. We'll see why not.
They certainly come apart a lot easier now than they would have before.
Oh yeah.
Because before they were kind of stiff, right?
Yep. And then when they got roasted, they stiffened up even more. Either way, I don't think there's any way to de-seed peppers without making some sort of mess. You know? More pieces. So I'm going to ask a couple questions. This process is a little bit longer and boring. What did you guys cook this weekend? Hopefully something really good. Let me know. Beautiful. All right. Those seeds have all come out. We're getting there, guys. Those seeds have all come out.
Nyla said you're cooking by braille.
Who?
Nylish?
Cooking by feel.
Yep.
By braille?
By braille.
Nice. All right. Peppers. A couple more. This biggie.
I don't think anybody cooked this weekend.
All right. I cooked at a friend's barbecue this weekend. I had a grand old time.
That was a good barbecue.
Yep. All right. Those are our peppers. Get rid of these seeds. And we're going to put them in. Yeah, might as well do that because it doesn't matter. I want to strain this. I'm using the liquid. Not all of it, of course. And we're going to make our pepper paste. Getting down to the wire here, folks.
This is pretty cool. And our house smells absolutely spectacular. So you have a Vitamix mixer.
Mm-hmm. I sure do.
What if I just had a regular mixer? Not as powerful as Vitamix.
Oh,
is it?
Yeah, no. What?
Is there an issue? Just...
Yeah. All right, so before I dump that in, what I want to do is I'm going to add my plantains to this. And I'm going to add the tortillas. I want to get these plantains a little bit softer. They're getting there.
Well, you asked earlier what people made this weekend,
Yes.
and Dave Lehman said he made tuna fish sandwiches.
Fantastic, Dave.
I'm coming over here just to take a look at the plantains for a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to let those go. And what I'm going to do is I'm using the pan I use for the nuts. I'm going to start doing my tortillas in here. Again, just a little bit of lard. Need these plantains to be a little bit softer. Nice. Corn tortillas, gluten-free, really yummy smelling.
Very fresh.
Very fresh from our Mexican market. Just going to put them in there. We're just going to get a little crisp on them. Just to, again, a different level of flavor. Toasting the corn. Like these plantains. Looking pretty slamming. Now the chocolate, I'm going to make, I need 3 ounces of chocolate. So I'm going to totally measure that chocolate. 3 ounces. I'm going to weigh them up. 2 3/4. 3 1/8. There we go. So basically 2 discs. I'm going to put that in.
Oh, let me see.
Hold on. I'm going to break these up. All right, so these are toasting.
They're also bubbling a bit.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty cool. I'm going to put the plantains in the blender. Just like so. We're going to get some more tortillas going.
Do you have lard in the other one?
I have a little bit of lard. I'm going to stop using my fingers.
Because they're hot.
Yeah, really these. Again, we're just softening them up, toasting up the corn flavor. I'm going to put a little bit more lard. Lardy, lard. Beautiful. Hard not to like lard.
And what kind of lard is this?
This is rendered pork fat. Again, bought it at the Mexican market.
And Jimmy Parisi asked about Vitamix.
What about it?
That was all he said. Vitamix, question mark. So, great blender.
Yep. Great blender. I'm going to put the first one of the tortillas in. I'm just tearing it up. Putting it in. Yeah, the Vitamix is a really good blender.
And I'm reading the specs on
Very
the back.
powerful.
It says 120 volts, 60 hertz, 11.5 amps. I don't know what any of that means, but I know it's powerful.
Yep. It's so powerful it'll make liquids warm. All right. Almost down to the last tortilla. I'm going to turn the pot on. We haven't had the pot with the mole on yet. I'm going to get that going. We'll warming it up.
And I'm going back to the blender.
Yep.
There you go, Jamie.
They sell them
Vitamix.
at Costco. They sell them everywhere.
So yeah, it's a type of blender.
Okay. In go these other 4 tortillas. I got you running around today, honey.
You do. Hopefully it's not making people dizzy.
Boy, those are hot. Lard is hot. Now, if I'm going to need more liquid, I'm just going to add more chicken stock. And I have to add, I do add some more chicken stock to the mole pot, you know, and then, because it's going to simmer for a while. And then if it's looking like it's getting a little too thick, you got to add some more anyway. So, all right, I am going to add a little bit of chicken stock to this. So we've got our chili pepper paste, we've got our tortillas, and we've got our plantains in there. And using the powerful...
I'll step away for a minute because it's noisy.
This is on low, but it also has a high. So you got a variable speed. And you'll see it suck those tortillas right in.
It just looks like chocolate.
And it doesn't even have any chocolate in it yet.
Yep.
I'll put a little tiny bit more in.
So it sounds like with mole, just keep on adding chicken stock to keep loosening it up.
Yeah. Pretty thick. So I want to get it to the point where the it's not binding up the blender, and it's I don't even know the right word for it. There we go.
Can you feel that?
It's blending nicely.
Or you can see it at the bottom?
No, and you can see that it's going down the middle. All right, guys, this is ready. So now I'm going to pour this into the pot. Then I'm going to determine if we need to add even more chicken stock by seeing how thick it is. All right, so you can see it's already started to come to a simmer, and it's very light right now. But look at this. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to rinse the blender out with chicken stock first. We're going to see where this is going to get us. So this is actually going to darken as it simmers. And what I want you guys to do, if you make this recipe, and it's totally doable. I know it seems like there's a lot of steps, and even I, the grateful chef, seem like I may be all over the map. It's worth making once just so you can check it out. And once you make it once, it kind of makes more sense, and you can multitask and do several things at once, so you can make it quicker. So what I want you to do at this point is I want you to taste it. Because I want you to taste it now, and I want you to taste it later, because you're going to see a transformation in flavor that's going to blow your head off.
So you haven't added chocolate yet. So does that matter?
Good. No, I'm looking for a bitterness, So we've got our 3 ounces of chocolate. This chocolate comes in little sections, so it makes it easier to break up. I'm just breaking it up into little triangles, like so.
This chocolate's a little bit grainier than...
Yeah, because it's ground. It's hand ground.
Okay.
And then formed. All right. So that chocolate is going to make this even darker. And it's interesting, it's even darker than the vegan version that I made. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe because the peppers were toasted a little bit more. But who knows? Oh, I probably know why. The chicken stock. So I'm putting chicken stock in because I want to clean out this blender and not waste all the delicious flavors.
Wow,
See? Didn't waste all the flavor in it.
that's awesome.
Yeah. We are like in the home stretch at this point. We're going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to bring it down to a simmer. Now, here's the kicker. Every 20 minutes or so, you got to get up, and you got to stir it to make sure it's not burning on the bottom. Because think about it, you got the nut paste and the vegetable paste, and those will tend to want to fall to the bottom. So you put it on super, super low once you get this thing up to a boil. And you just got to keep monitoring it for about 2.5 hours. This isn't such a bad thing for the result. So, tasting it again. Spicy.
I taste it.
A little spicy.
Uh-huh. Ooh, wow.
Yes.
Holy cow.
All right, so it's a little too spicy for Lynn. So guess what?
We're adding more chicken stock?
More chicken stock. Yeah, 2 more cups of chicken stock.
So you said this will, the flavors they'll round out more?
Yeah. All the flavors will marry while this is cooking.
Because right now, I'll say it's very spice forward.
Yeah.
Where when I think of mole, it's not quite as, it's
Well, not all of it's spices. You're getting the richness from those peppers too. The dried peppers.
Mm-hmm.
The pepper flavor, is concentrated.
I'll say it tastes like mole, it's just that it's that spice forward. And I was curious, it also gets that warmer, more rounded flavor.
Yep.
So that's going to come with reduction?
Yes.
Okay.
And once this simmers for a while, I'm going to then monitor that balance with the bitter and sweet. Like, I don't want it to come across as sweet, but I may want to counterbalance what I might think is over bitter with a little bit of sweet. And I'll do that with the dates in the hot water. So there you go. Lots of components, lots of preparation, lots of planning kind of in advance. Like, hey, I'm going to make it this weekend. Make yourself your chicken stock ahead of time, the day before. Refrigerate it. I made that 2 days before. Source out the best ingredients you can get. If not, you can substitute. Like I said, you have to substitute the chicken stock for a good jarred chicken stock, or hold on a second. No, thank you. You can do that. If you had to use a bitter chocolate, find yourself some 70 or 77%. The nuts everyone can find. The dried peppers, they do have them in regular supermarkets. Packages are a little bit smaller, a little more expensive. I'd say a lot more expensive than the big packages I get in the Mexican market. But you can make this. I don't want you to be afraid. It is an awesome dish. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to let this simmer. And then when we come back, which is going to be later tonight, it's going to be when we're putting together our enchiladas, mole poblano. And I got 2, what did I buy today? Corn
tamales.
2 tamales, 2 corn tamales we're going to do also in this mole poblano. And then who knows, maybe in the future I'll do a chicken mole poblano and we'll cook chicken right in the pot. So thanks for joining and spending some time on this Labor Day. Have a great one. And we'll check in with you guys later. Peace out.